All right. What's up, Dream Warriors? Welcome back to another episode of a podcast on Elm Street. I'm Mark.
And I'm Brooke.
And this week we are doing part one of our 9th Villain Faceoff, I think.
I think so.
I think it's 9. But we are going to be talking about Blade from 1998.
Yeah.
The baddest ass martial art specialist vampire killing machine that we've ever seen.
Yes. It's the it's the Wesley Snipes Blade, not to be confused with Puppet Master Blade.
The Horror Villains Instagram account, he always does like these face-off things too.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't have a picture for one of them, and it was just Blade versus so-and-so. I can't remember who it was.
Yeah.
And I messaged him. I was like, bro, like, this isn't even a contest. Like, what do you think in putting these two together? And he's like, no, Blade from Puppet Master. And I was like, oh, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, before we start talking about this movie, what have you been up to since we last recorded?
Let's see. Started watching the new Uncharted movie tonight.
Nice.
Have about an hour left of it. It's okay so far.
Only okay?
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I didn't expect that much from it.
Yeah.
But I mean, for both Uncharted fans, the video game, so we're gonna have a little bit of bias towards it. I don't know. It's good. I like Tom Holland. He kind of seems too young for Nathan Drake.
Isn't it supposed to be like a prequel to the games, though?
I don't think so.
Oh, no? I thought it was.
Well, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, like, he looks young, but I guess he's like, I don't know, 30, right? In his 30s?
I'm not sure.
But I think Mark Wahlberg is miscast, I think.
Yeah.
Like, he has the same humor as Sully, but like, I know Sully's this old guy. So,
well, that's why I thought it was kind of like maybe a prequel, because Sully is so young in the movie.
Yeah.
Like if it was like right whenever Nathan started doing the treasure hunting.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, like Mark Wahlberg could almost be Nathan Drake.
Yeah, exactly.
Like he's about that age.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't watch too much horror movies. I need to get back into horror movie watches because I feel like I don't watch enough of them. I watched the newest South Park movie on Paramount Plus.
Oh, nice.
South Park: The Streaming Wars. It's pretty funny wordplay because it's not the stream that you think it is.
Okay.
I thought it was okay. It wasn't that great, to be honest. Like, there's definitely the weakest of the movies they've released. It's less than an hour long, so it's worth checking out, I guess.
I didn't even know they made another one.
Yeah, well, they have like 12 movies lined up.
That's wild.
Yeah. Watched The Goonies and Billy Madison.
I heard about that.
Yeah. After we did our Mud Hero, just went back, smoked some The Devil's Lettuce, and watched some movies. Then randomly last night throwing Monsters Inc.
Okay.
Because the Rainer is doing like Pixar week.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I felt like watching it, and I really like that movie.
Yeah, it holds up.
Yeah. And then finally I watched a Spike Lee movie called Do the Right Thing. First time watch for me, and I really liked it. It's on Crave. So I guess HBO maybe in the States. Really good movie. I think it's a movie that everyone should watch at least once in their lifetime.
Okay.
Because it's like so relevant, like not just now, but in those times too. About like just culture in general. Yeah, it's really good.
I will have to check it out.
And yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's it. Okay. I pretty much only watched horror this week.
You're better than I.
I started off the week watching House, the 1977 one.
Nice.
I think it's Japanese. I see it on all these like top horror movies of all time lists and all that shit. So I figured I should probably watch it finally.
Oh, it's not the house I'm thinking of.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's Japanese.
Hmm.
It's fucking weird though, man. Like really fucking weird. Like not the kind of weird of the other house that you were thinking of.
Yeah.
But it's just, I don't know. I don't understand how it's on all these lists. I feel like it's the Evil Dead for me. Like,
Okay.
it's basically like an Asian version of the Evil Dead in a sense.
Interesting.
But yeah, I mean, watch it for yourself if you ever get the craving to. Our buddy Kyle Kehoe on Facebook, he was talking about this movie called Hatching. So I took his advice and I bought it on Apple TV.
Oh, you bought it?
Yeah, it was only $15. So
Okay.
And it was really good. I really enjoyed it. I'm glad I listened to him and ended up watching it.
Nice.
It's very fucking weird as well, but it's good. I definitely recommend checking it out.
Is it like a movie from this year?
Yeah, it just came out this year.
Okay.
Yeah. It's Finnish movie too. Yeah. And then I watched one called All About Evil on Shudder. I was telling you about it the other night. That's the one with Natasha Lyonne.
Yeah.
And I hated the acting in it at first, and then I was telling you, I think that they like were purposely doing it, like just over the top shitty acting,
right?
Because there's like, she's a good actress. She's been in like Orange Is the New Black, and she was in American Pie and all those movies. I was like, why is she so bad? Because this movie just came, like, well, not just, but it came out in 2010, so she had already made a bit of a name for herself.
Yeah,
with the American Pie movies. But yeah, some of the kills were really cool. It was a really cool concept. I mean, I would check it out. I gave it a 3-star rating on Letterboxd. Okay. It's not great, but it was a fun watch. I watched Jackass Forever.
Nice.
So good.
It was good, eh?
So good.
Yeah.
I was really pleasantly surprised because I read your review on Letterboxd and I thought, like, I had the same kind of feelings. Like, fuck, all these guys are like 50 years old now.
Yeah.
Like, is it going to be shit? But
yeah,
like, I like the new crop of younger guys that they're bringing in.
Yeah.
And even still, like, the old guys were still like doing stuff. Like Steve-O was still getting right in there. Johnny Knoxville gets hit by a bull again and fucking knocks himself out. It was insane, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the MVP of that movie was definitely Danger Aaron.
Oh yeah.
Like, I did so much.
Yeah, poor bastard. So many dicks though. Oh my god.
There was a lot of penises in this one, yeah.
Like, yeah, an abundance of it.
Yeah.
I said to my buddy at work, I think I saw all of their dicks except for Johnny Knoxville's.
Yeah. How long into the opening scene until you realized what it actually was?
Not very long.
Okay.
At first I was like, that looks funny, and then I was like, oh my god, that's a penis. It's got like the fucking marionette arm things on it. So funny. I want to watch 4.5 though, because they have all the deleted skits and shit on that one.
It's really good.
Yeah. And lastly, I've watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Shocking Truth.
I think, is that on Shudder?
It's on Tubi.
Oh, okay.
I was just browsing Tubi last night and I saw it and I was like, oh, I love that movie. I'll watch a documentary on it. And it was really good. It came out in 2000, so all of the actors were still alive. So it was like interviewing the actors and like the Toby Hooper and like producers and stuff like that, the makeup team. And it was a really good look at the inside making of the movie and like what they went through. And they got shafted hard once the movie came out.
Yeah.
Because no production team would take them on, or no distribution team would take them on. And then they ended up signing on with Bryanston, I think or Bryanston.
Okay.
And they were run by the mafia. So once the movie started making like millions of dollars, the mafia was just like, yeah, that's ours now. So like everybody got fucked.
Wow.
Like the guy who played Franklin, he got paid $300 for his role.
What the fuck?
Yeah. And
$300.
they ended up taking them to court, and they got like $400,000 back, and that was it.
Wow.
So yeah, they got like royally fucked on it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And it talked a little bit about the sequels and whatnot too. I don't know, it's cool. And that's it. I've been playing Control on PlayStation.
Nice.
Having a lot of fun with that. I'm finally putting Apex on the back burner. I'm saying I need to fucking get through this backlog of video games because I have way too many.
Yeah, I agree there. I have a lot as well. But
yeah, and then you just paid for the extra tier on PlayStation Plus.
I know, yeah.
Crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it.
Cool.
Yeah, man. Okay. Ready to dive into this movie?
Yes, sir.
All right. All right. Like we said in the intro this week, we were talking about Blade from 1998. This is going to be part 1 of our 9th Villain Faceoff. He's not a villain. He's a anti-hero.
Yeah.
So this will be an anti-hero face-off. But yeah, before we start talking about it, what are you drinking?
I am drinking here a 360 or Sleeping Giants 360 ale.
Nice.
And they're from Thunder Bay,
Ontario.
A little splashy.
It's not good.
It's pretty good. I think this is definitely a fall beer, I think.
Okay. It's pumpkin-y.
Yeah.
Let's see.
What are you drinking?
I am drinking all my ice is melted now, but it's just a vodka 7.
It's a vodka 7.
Vodka and 7-Up.
Oh.
I wasn't feeling beer tonight. I don't really have anything else other than like whiskey and stuff. And I almost didn't drink at all tonight because I bought Fireball, like a little bottle of Fireball.
Gross.
and Jack Daniels, so I could make Apple Jacks.
Oh, okay.
Which is the 2 of those in apple juice. But I don't have any apple juice, so I was like, I wonder what it tastes like just the 2 of them together. So I poured like a half shot of each into a glass, and I drank it. I almost fucking puked all over my floor. Man.
Yeah,
I was like, oh.
No doubt, fucking Fireball's nasty.
Well, I thought it would be like the fucking, what's the Jack Daniels Tennessee Heat or something like that.
Okay.
I thought it would maybe be like that. It
No.
wasn't, and I don't know how people can drink Jack Daniels on the regular. I don't even know why I bought it. It's fucking disgusting, and I love whiskey, but yeah, there's no way I'm drinking that straight.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad we delayed the recording too, because I didn't have any beer last night, and I was going to smoke for this episode.
Uh-oh.
But then, yeah, so probably a better idea.
I've ruined the plans.
Yeah.
All right. We'll start off with a synopsis. A half vampire, half mortal man becomes a protector of the mortal race while slaying evil vampires. Very basic.
Yes.
This movie was directed by Stephen Norrington, who has done Death Machine, The Last Minute, and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. He was also part of the creature effects crew on Aliens and Alien 3, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, I was kind of not surprised that he's not directing anymore, to be honest.
Okay. League of Extraordinary Gentlemen was good.
Go back and watch that movie.
Oh, really? It's not good anymore?
It's not good. No.
Really?
It's
okay.
terrible. It's bad.
Shit, I used to love it when I was younger.
I know, me too. Yeah, I thought it was the coolest thing.
Well, fuck. Okay.
Yeah.
You just ruined my childhood.
Sorry, man.
This cast starts off with Wesley Snipes, who plays Blade. He's known for, obviously, White Man Can't Jump, Demolition Man, New Jack City, The Expendables 3, U.S. Marshals, and Major League.
Yeah, he played
Played Willie Mays.
Was he the one, like the voodoo guy?
No, he was the guy who stole all the bases.
Oh, okay, right.
And every time he'd steal a base, he'd put his batting gloves. He'd pin his batting gloves up.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, that voodoo guy was so cool, though.
Yeah, he was hilarious.
I love him. Next up, I have Stephen Dorff, who played Deacon Frost.
Uh-huh.
Allergies are fucking wild right now. He's known for Immortals, Felon, True Detective, Leatherface, Public Enemies, and the terrible, terrible Fear.com.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh my God. Well, don't bother now if you haven't watched it. I used to like it a lot when I was a kid, and it is bad.
This guy seems like the kind of guy who could have been like a good actor, like a star. Because like he's very good looking, like in this movie at least.
Yeah.
But then kind of, I don't know, didn't really go anywhere. He's in a lot of movies, but I don't know.
He's not like a big name actor.
No.
And like he plays a good villain. Like he was really good in his role, I think, anyways. Next up is Chris Christopherson. He played Whistler. He's in Payback, The Jacket, Planet of the Apes, Paper Hearts, and the original A Star Is Born.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
He looks like Kurt Russell a lot in this movie.
Yeah, he does. The long hair.
Yeah.
But yeah, he also has a really good singing career as well. He's a country singer.
Yeah, I saw that. He's written and performed a lot of songs in movies.
Yeah. I think he started off as a singer and then he kind of moved to acting. And lastly, I had to look up how to pronounce her name.
Okay.
But it's in Boucher Wright, who played Karen. She was in Dead Presidents, Zebrahead, Fresh, and A Talent for Trouble. So not a lot of roles.
No.
Surprisingly, going back to what you said about Stephen Dorff, like he's a good looking guy. She's a gorgeous woman. She could have, I don't know. I don't want to say like looks make everything in Hollywood, but I mean, it kind of does in a sense in old school Hollywood anyways.
Yeah.
But, and she wasn't bad. She was a good actress.
Debatable.
Okay, fine. Fuck you then. And I have 2 honorable mentions.
All right.
I have Donald Logue, who played Quinn. He's hilarious in this movie.
Is he like Scottish or like Irish? Because like that name, because it's like Donal, so it's like almost Donald, but not.
Yeah. He's 3/4 of Donald.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might be. Logue kind of sounds like it could be too. And then I have Tracy Lords, who plays Raquel. She was the blonde vampire who was with Frost.
Okay, yeah.
Tracy Lords is a porn star.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. A little bit of bio on her, just going to her IMDb page. She moved away from her father with her mother after they got a divorce. And then I'm pretty sure the mother started dating a guy who's a photographer or something. Anyways, but at the age of like 14 or 15, she was doing nude photo shoots by using a fake birth certificate and driver's license.
That's fucked.
Yeah. And
that's like illegal.
Very illegal.
Yeah.
And then she eventually turned to adult filmmaking.
Yeah.
It makes sense.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I read that and I was like, oh my God, like that's fucked. Like then you think back and oh my God, what's her name? From that 70s show.
Oh, Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. She used the same kind of route, but to get into actual acting.
Yeah, exactly.
Not the nude modeling. But yeah, I don't know if you had anybody or.
Yep, I had 2 honorable mentions. One of them is I should have looked up how to pronounce his name too, but Udo Kier.
Okay.
He played Dragonetti.
Oh yeah.
Very recognizable face, but he was in. I mean, this is kind of a spoiler, so I don't know if you watch the movie or the TV show, or going to watch the TV show Hunters, that's on Amazon Prime. He plays Adolf Hitler.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I could see him in that role.
Yeah, exactly. And then he's actually in Puppet Master: The Littlest Reich.
Probably as Hitler.
See him soon. Yeah, exactly. And then the other one I have is Greg Cannon. He did the special effects makeup for this movie. And he's done a lot, actually. So I kind of laugh because it's kind of hilarious, but he did the makeup on White Chicks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Vice, that one with Christian Bale, made him look like the big ass president there.
Oh,
in 2018.
Yeah.
There's another one that popped out to me. Watchmen, Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Damn.
He did The Mask.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he did Pirates of the Caribbean. He's done a lot of stuff. So
that's quite the resume.
Yeah. Big Mama's House, classic.
Oh, Jesus Christ. I haven't watched that movie in so long.
I know, same.
That's great. All right.
Yeah.
Ready to dive into this movie discussion?
Yeah.
You're already already giving yourself away on this one.
I know.
You are not being you're being transparent is I guess what I can say.
Yeah. I was going to say, I don't know if you feel the same way, but I was going to say, who's going to say it first? This movie did not hold up very well for me.
Some of it did, some of it didn't.
Yes.
The special effects are fucking horrible.
Like, bad.
Like Mortal Kombat bad.
Yeah. But yeah, like, I love this movie. I've always loved this movie. I'll still love this movie. But this was not a tough watch because I had fun with it. But I just kind of hurt my heart a little bit because looking at it, for the podcast eye, you're like, fuck, man, like, this is not very good. And like, I don't know, I may get shit on for that, but
it is what it is, man.
I don't know, man.
See, I don't have as strong of feelings as you do.
Yeah.
Against it. But I think, like, I absolutely understand what you're saying. I don't know, like, because I just watched it, like, not that long ago.
Yeah, I think the last time I watched it, I don't know, like, not that long ago, maybe 3 years or 4 years, maybe.
Yeah.
So like, it hasn't been a very long time, but I don't know.
I feel like that first watch, like at the beginning of the year, for me, it just kind of, I don't know, kind of gave me a heads up, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, it was still fresh in my mind that it's not a great movie per se.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I was able to have a really fun time with it this time, and
yeah,
still being critical, but also just enjoying it for what it is.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you could take that route. But I will say, like, this opening scene, like, not the blade being born scene, but like the club scene is probably one of the most memorable scenes that I have from like being like a kid, because like I probably watched this movie, I don't know, like at a young age, like probably 11 maybe or 12.
Yeah, it came out in 98. Like,
yeah,
probably watched it a couple of years after that.
Yeah. So like I couldn't remember if this club scene was from this movie or the second movie. But But like, yeah, this opening club scene is like
So good.
fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's sick.
Just like they're at a rave and it's like fucking the music's just fucking pumping. And then all of a sudden the blood just starts coming out of the sprinklers, like the fire sprinklers.
Yeah.
And then Blade comes in and just starts tearing shit up.
Yeah. I love like his introduction, like, because is it the blonde chick? She brings some guy down with her. It's like in some like not a butcher shop, but like
it is actually a butcher or a slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse, yeah. And then like as soon as they get there, she's like starts dancing with the blonde girl. And then she just like pushes the guy away and he's like, what the hell? And he's trying to dance and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like all the blood comes down and like everyone just goes nuts and he's like, what the fuck? And I thought for sure he was dead. Like,
yeah.
It's like, dude, you're just no way.
Yeah.
Do you think he was the only human they brought down there?
Well, that's what I was just about to say before I had a coughing fit. I think so. Because like my initial thoughts were too that like this guy's going to be a feast for some of them. Anyways, he's not enough for all of them. But
yeah,
like, but I don't know.
Because it seemed like Frost was about to kill him or bite him or do whatever. And then Blade showed up and starts killing people. He's got the fucking sunglasses. Like just his look is so sick.
Yeah. Sunglasses in a nightclub.
yeah. I'm very excited for the remake.
Yeah. Who's playing him again?
Mahershala Ali.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be good.
Yeah. I'm excited mainly because of him, because like he has a good track record. He's a great actor.
Yeah.
And he has that look too.
Yeah.
So, but
he's not really an action star though, but
no, he was the bad guy in what was the Marvel not Iron Fist? The other one.
Jessica Jones?
Not Jessica Jones.
Oh, fuck.
What the fuck's his name?
The guy that was in Jessica Jones.
Yeah. The black guy.
Yeah.
Oh
my god.
Anyway,
Cage.
Luke Cage. Yeah, Luke Cage.
There we go. Damn. Fuck.
Because he was the bad guy, I believe, in like the second season of that show or something. But anyway. And like I kind of did forget about how bad the CGI was. Like when he's like killing people with a sword, like their skeleton like just like shows up and like they kind of like burn away.
But only sometimes.
Yeah, only sometimes.
It's not all of them.
No. So I mean CGI is pretty bad, but
there was one scene later on too, and it's when like it's right at the end, but it's when Deacon and Blade are fighting and Blade slices him in half and then his upper torso flies up and all of his blood is like that super like bubbly looking CGI blood and it just like goes up with it and then it like sucks it back down.
Yeah.
And I was like, that is the fucking dumbest thing that they could have ever done with that scene.
Yeah, I know. Oh man. And going back to like the title sequence, I thought that was like the most boring like sequence. Like the music is like so dramatic, but like nothing's happening. And then like the font is like so boring. Like, and then when it has Blade, it's like the same font and size as like the rest of the cast. Like it doesn't stand out.
Yeah.
I know, it kind of bugged me a little bit, but
I don't know. All of like even the new Marvel opening credits, like it bothers me.
Yeah.
It's just I don't know. It was cool like the first couple times, and now it's just like, okay, get it done and over with. Like,
yeah.
We know.
Yeah. So Blade is known as the Daywalker because he's half vampire, half human.
Yeah.
Like he was like bit, but he takes like some special serum to make him like not fully vampire.
His mother was bit while she was pregnant.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah.
But yeah, like Deacon mentions it later on. He's like, "Oh, you got the best of both worlds. Like, you have all of our powers and none of our weaknesses," which is really cool. Like, he's just a fucking killing machine at that point.
Yeah, yeah. And then he ends up cutting off the arm of Quinn, who's like the bad guy. It's kind of like this ongoing joke throughout the whole movie between him, which is pretty funny.
Yeah.
And then he ends up like burning the shit out of Quinn. I don't know why, like, he didn't fully die. Like, maybe he's a bit stronger than like the other vampires, maybe.
Yeah.
Because he gets taken back to Karen, who's a hedotologist or whatever it is called. And Quinn wakes up and bites her, I guess, ex-boyfriend, and then bites Karen. And then Blade shows up and he's like, "Oh, I came to finish the job." And Quinn, like, he looks like you're like fucking slow cooked meat that you ate.
What, like pulled pork?
The brisket.
Oh, brisket.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's a good way of putting it.
So Karen ends up getting bit, and Quinn gets away, but Blade, I don't know why he took her back. I guess maybe she reminded him of his mom.
Yeah, she kind of does look like her.
Yeah, because when he gets back to their hideout, we meet Whistler. God, I can't talk tonight. And Whistler is like not pissed at him, but he's like, "Oh, like, you know, she starts turning, like, you better kill her," and stuff like that. And they give her like the serum, kind of like what Blade takes.
Yeah.
What do you think of the dynamic duo of Whistler and Blade?
I think they need each other. Like, I like it. It's very much like a Master Splinter and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles sort of relationship.
Yeah, it is,
like,
actually. Yeah.
Oh, I found him when he was 14, stealing homeless people's food or something like that. So I brought him in. They just kind of reminded me a little bit of that. But like, a lot of it, like, the relationship doesn't make sense. Like, I doubt Whistler taught Blade all these martial arts and all this stuff. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. But like, Blade needs Whistler because Whistler's got like the intelligence and like he knows how to create all these things.
Yeah. And
then Whistler needs Blade because he has this agenda of killing these vampires just as much as Blade does, right?
Yeah, because I think his Whistler's family was killed by vampires.
Yeah.
That's why they're kind of working together. But basically they like move from city to city hunting vampires and like track their movements and stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the funniest things in this movie is the vampire mace. I thought it was so dumb, but so fucking funny. He's like, what does he put? It's like essence of garlic or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. And then like at her place, there's a cop just like in her fucking house. And he's like, "Oh, we're just doing a standard check." And it's like, okay, like you come with like a better fucking thing. So dumb. So you find out that he's like familiar, and is Frost familiar?
Yeah.
And then they like end up following him, I think, to like this kind of, well, they start like beating him up, and then he ends up getting away, and they're like sitting out in like his sick ass car. And there's like one other bit to like go out and find him, and then I like the line Blade's like, "There's worse things out there than vampires," and then Karen was like, "What?" He's like, "Me." And then like puts his fucking sword in his back. It's like That's sick.
So badass. Like, is this familiar thing? Is this like I'm just thinking back to Twilight and how the werewolves, like, they imprint on people. Like, is that like a similar sort of thing?
I know that in What We Do in the Shadows, the familiar is a big thing in it.
That's right.
But like, other than that movie, I haven't really heard that before or remembered it. So yeah.
This is a movie too, like I mentioned in my reviews, like I like how they touch on like some of the vampire lore and the history and stuff like that. Like there's one line where Blade says that, like, basically what they've told you about vampires is a lie. Like, you can't kill them with this and this. Like, it has to be like a stake or silver or something like that. Which I thought, or crosses. It was crosses that don't work, right?
Wooden stakes.
Wooden stakes, crosses. He mentioned crosses too.
Yeah, I think crosses, wooden stakes.
I read in the trivia that they changed that, like, vampire lore of the crosses, because that's a big thing, right? Like, you put a cross on a vampire, they like burn up and shit. And I can't remember which one of the production team said it, but like, well, what if a vampire is Jewish or something? Like, like, why can't they be vampires?
Yeah, that's true. That's hilarious.
I thought it was just funny. Like, so they kind of scrapped that idea in the movie that the crosses would kill them.
Okay. How did Frost get into this clique of the vampires?
Like, I don't know.
What is he to all of them? Because it seems like they all hate him. Like, he's like this kind of like new hip vamp. But I mean, you find out that like he's not a full vampire. Like, he was bit. He wasn't born into it like them. But like, how did he get to be at this head table with, the 12 main vampires and Dragonetti?
Yeah. See, I don't really understand that either. Because, like, he's still young. Like, you could understand if he was like the son of one of them or something like that, and like they're bringing him in to eventually be part of that group.
Yeah,
but like, I don't know, maybe it's just because he's so fucking ruthless that they're like allowing him to be part of it. But like, they're trying to like maintain like coexistence with humans and vampires, like,
because they've been doing it for thousands of years.
Yeah, whereas he just wants to fucking turn everybody.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand how he's a part of all that.
Because like Dragonetti, like, he's not Dracula, but like they make it seem like he's the leader of this group. And Frost doesn't seem that intimidating to me. Like, they don't make him out to be this like great and powerful vampire. Like, I don't know, it's all these old guys, and like a couple of them do like speak up, but like, I don't know, nothing really.
I feel like if they wanted to, they could fuck him up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they follow the cop, the familiar, to this weird ass Asian club with some weird rapping going on.
That was so annoying. Yeah. One of the worst parts of the movie.
Yeah. We only hear it for a few seconds, so it's not too bad, but yeah, very weird. And Blade finds this like secret room where I think it's Frost's like not headquarters, but kind of like a secret base, I guess.
Yeah.
And he finds like all the archives of like all of the vampire lore, basically. And he's trying to figure like what his plan is, and basically it's this thing called La Magra.
Yeah.
And he needs like all 12 of the vampires and Blade to bring this person into him. And this is and then we meet lovely Pearl.
Oh my god.
who is like Jabba the Hutt.
Yeah, that's a good. That's great. That's actually perfect.
I don't know what like her job is like.
It's actually a dude too.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Yeah, and a dude that plays him too, I think.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, he has the controls to like the safe, I guess. But like, you can't fucking move, man. Like you're 600 pounds, and like I didn't understand that whole thing.
I guess like maybe because like Pearl can't just like live a normal life, like they're just confined to this fucking chair. So I guess Frost was just like, okay, you can fucking keep an eye on the safe because we don't need you to move for that.
Yeah.
I like that whole confrontation with Blade and Pearl though. Blade's like, what's
this? It was
this?
Funny, yeah.
Blade's like, what's this? And Pearl's like, oh, it's a video game. You don't need to worry about it.
Yeah. And yeah, Whistler made them like this like flashlight that I forget what the word is called, but
a UV flashlight.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. And Karen like has a flashlight, keeps shining it on Pearl, and she is burning up, and then eventually Karen kills him.
Yeah.
With the flashlight.
It's a pretty brutal death too.
Like, it is, yeah, because like he can't move at all, obviously.
It's just like an extreme sunburn.
Yeah.
You got some beer froth in your mustache. There you go.
Oh,
you got
thank
it.
You. Yeah. So, and then they get attacked by Quinn and his gang. They show up, and there's like a young girl there who like Blade kind of, it looks like his mom.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know like what the point of this was. Like, I don't know. There's some like weird things in this movie that like
the young girl that's like running around through the glass. Yeah.
And then like she ends up fighting him, and Blade like holds his own with everyone. And then I think at one point when they're at the hideout, Karen like touches his like sword, and then like the fucking blades come out the handle. And then whenever the guy like takes his sword and then like it fucking explodes his fucking hand, and he just starts like laughing. So funny. And then go ahead.
Oh, never mind. You go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. And then Whistler shows up. He kind of saves them both.
Right.
Starts like shooting them up, and the choreography in this scene was really well done. I thought I liked it a lot.
Yeah. I think the choreography in the whole movie is really good.
Yeah.
Like I find these fight scenes are wicked.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
And I don't know, like Wesley Snipes is he's an action star, or he used to be anyways. And so like, and I know he was in like a lot of not martial arts movies, but like he's in a lot of movies where he shows like his martial art techniques, I guess you could say, or his skill. But like, it's like this movie's pretty fucking intense for the whole martial arts thing. So I don't know if he's actually doing it or
I think he's doing some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like some of the stuff that he does in this, it's fucking crazy.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think of this whole train scene?
I love when Blade takes Quinn's face and fucking slams it up against the fucking subway train that's going by.
Yeah.
Oh man, every time that happens, I'm like, this is so cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the only scene I liked from this scene.
Yeah.
I thought this whole scene, except for that part, was fucking awful. I did not like it. I thought it did not hold up at all. Like, man, it's tough.
What didn't you like about it?
Just like the look of the train, and then like them jumping across the tracks, it like just didn't look good at all. And then like Whistler just fucks off. He just leaves.
He's an old ass man.
Yeah.
With like a busted up knee, and he's fucking crawling through these subway tracks.
Yeah. I don't know. And then I think Quinn gets his other hand cut off, I think, at this part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the one scene, like right at the end, where all the vampires are coming that are left over, and Blade grabs Karen and he just like holds his hand out. And she's like, "What are you doing?" And he just holds his hand out. And then he fucking grabs onto the railing at the end of the subway train, and it's flying.
Yeah.
And they get into the train and he's like, and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "It's dislocated." It's like, no fucking shit. You're lucky you still have an arm, man. Like, Jesus.
Yeah. Oh, man. And the next scene with Frost, I was laughing so fucking hard.
Is that the one in the park?
No. Well, that was a funny scene too.
Yeah.
But I thought this was the dumbest shit I've ever seen in a vampire movie. He puts fucking sunscreen on.
Yeah, in the park.
Well, when he kills Dragon Eddie too, he puts
sunscreen on. Yeah, you're right.
I was like, is that fucking sunscreen? Like, are you serious?
Oh, man.
And then they put fucking motorcycle helmets on. I was like,
how's that going to help?
Why are you so scared of the sun? Like, just like walk around like normal with fucking motorcycle helmets and the sunscreen. Just blend in. Like, you could be a day walker too. I thought it was so fun. I was laughing hard, but
yeah,
just because of how dumb it is. Like, oh my God.
And
yeah,
like whenever I keep going back to this whole park scene, and Blade walks up and Frost is standing there, and Blade just walks up. He goes, "Sunscreen." It's like, oh my God, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, what is this? Like SPF 5000?
Yeah, exactly. And then like they killed Dragon Eddie, but it's like, I don't know, he doesn't seem fazed by it. Like Dragon Eddie, like he's this big, powerful guy, like the leader of all of them.
Yeah.
And then they just kill him super easily.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. Like, if you're gonna have this 12, like make them like menacing, or make them tough or something. Like, these are ancient vampires that have created this sort of like sanction.
Yeah.
Like, how are you able to just go in there and kill one of them and have zero repercussions?
Yeah. Like, this movie, I think, is just over 2 hours long, so you can't like add stuff to it. But I think you could take out some stuff and like add in maybe more backstory to like this society. Because it just seems like
be a cool prequel.
Yeah, maybe. Because like even whatever after he kills Dragon Eddie, which like I like their back and forth, but like when he like fucking starts like dying from the sun, it looks bad. But
yeah,
I liked Frosty says like, "Oh, you've never seen the sunrise before." He's like, "Lucky for me, I was bit, so I've seen it before." He's like, "Now we can enjoy it together." Like, I did like the back and forth of that. But yeah,
lucky for me, I have my sunscreen.
Yeah, exactly. And then like whatever he gets, he goes back to like the table with all the vamps, and he just like throws, like, he takes his teeth out. He throws like his teeth, and then he's like, "All right, I need 12 volunteers." And it's like, and then like they just kind of agree to it. Like, they don't put up any sort of a fight. Like, I don't know. It's
some stuff felt rushed for sure. Like maybe it was like a 2.5 hour movie and they cut some stuff out.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if that's the case or not, but like that's kind of what it feels like.
Yeah. And then so the scene you were mentioning before, the park scene, Frost is there with his fucking sunscreen on. He has like a little girl there, and Blade meets him there, and Frost is offering a truce to Blade, but Blade obviously doesn't take it. And then like Frost just fucking hucks this girl across, like she like smashes into like some cars and then like a little like stand.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, this girl would be dead.
She's like 12.
Yeah. Even if the bus is about to hit her, like she's like gets up like nothing. It's like, dude, that guy's strong as fuck.
Yeah.
He just chucked you like 30 feet.
Yeah, she sits up. Her hair's all a mess, and she's just got like pieces of like cardboard and shit in her hair. Just looks like, I don't know, like looks like she tripped and fell into a freaking newspaper stand, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't like this scene either, too, because like Blade is so far away, and like that bus is like maybe 5-10 feet in front of her.
Yeah.
Well, okay. First of all, the bus, you can tell, has enough time to stop.
Yeah.
And B, like Blade's too far away. There's no possible way he could have gotten to her.
No.
Like he doesn't have like super speed or anything like that. Or if he does, they've never showed it throughout the movie.
Mm-hmm.
And he gets there just in time to save her, obviously.
Yeah.
And he puts her down. He's go home. Like, fuck.
Yeah. And she grows up to be the karaoke singer we saw earlier in the movie. So yeah, while this is happening, Frost and the gang, they find their hideout somehow. I don't know if they say how, but they capture Karen, and then they leave Whistler pretty much beaten up and stuff, and then like he tells Blade like leave the gun, and so Blade leaves the gun. You hear like a gunshot, but spoiler alert, he's not dead. He shows up in the next movie.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm. And they actually haven't cast as in the Blade Trinity too, but I haven't watched that in forever, so I forget
I don't
what happens in that.
All I know is it was bad, and Ryan Reynolds and Jessica Biel are in it.
Yeah, and Triple H.
Oh yeah, he was the bad guy.
Yeah, he was one of them.
Yeah, that's great.
So now Frost is basically like at the little like underground bunker wherever he's doing this whole Lamagra thing.
Mm-hmm.
I love when Blade gets there and like it's right before he gets there, and Quinn is like talking to Frost about Blade, and Frost is like, yeah, he's got the swords and the thing, and he's doing this and that. Oh, that's hilarious.
Donald Logue's role was actually supposed to be a lot smaller in this too, but they just found him so funny that they incorporated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they put more of his character into it. Yeah, I'm glad they did, because he was like, I don't know, he was a good part of the movie. His humor brought, I don't know, like a different sort of feel to it.
Yeah, because like there's not a lot to Blade.
No,
like, he's just a single tone.
Yeah,
no bullshit kind of guy.
Yeah.
So you find out that Blade's mom is actually alive, and she was bit by Frost. So she's the one, or he's the one that bit her, whatever, before he was born. And then like, I don't know, because I know in like what we do in the shadows, like the vampires can kind of like not hypnotize you, but kind of get you to do things.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if like she was kind of forced to do this, but like she has no feelings for Blade whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's a good point, actually. I never thought of like, not like the hypnotizing thing, but like, I just kind of assumed like this was like 30 years ago. She's never had a relationship with him. She's a vampire now, so she's like living this great life, if you want to call it that, like, because vampires think it's such an amazing life. So like, that's kind of what I thought. Like, she just doesn't give a fuck because she has like zero emotional connection to Blade. But it could, like, yeah, I never really thought of the whole hypnotizing or like mind control sort of thing that they have.
Yeah, I don't know, but
that would make sense though.
Yeah. So yeah, basically they need like Blade's blood to kind of get this all together. Karen gets captured. She gets thrown in like this pit, and they're like kind of like talking up this like monster that will like eat anything. It's like kind of like, oh shit, what's this? And then it turns out it's just her like ex-husband who got bit, and he's like kind of a vampire, but like they mentioned he's like a zombie kind of.
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't know. He wasn't scary at all.
He reminded me of the zombie from Hocus Pocus.
That's hilarious.
He's kind of like, because he's just like talking to himself and he's like eating an arm or something like that. And then, Karen?
Yeah.
And I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how is this guy supposed to be like this big monster that they're.
And then he's like, can we still talk about us? And then, she like ends up hitting him with like an arm. And then I don't know how she fucking gets out of that place, but like, I mean, so I don't think that's possible.
No.
So Blade is captured. He hasn't had his serum in like, I forget how long it is, like 8 hours or something like that. So basically at this point, like he's turning into like a vampire kind of.
Yeah.
Like he has no energy. Like he's not like even like moving or doing anything. He's just like deadpan.
Yeah.
And then like they bring out all of the 12 OG vampires, and man, these bat skeletons, oh my god, they look so bad.
So bad.
Oh fuck.
Like, I stick by what I said. Like the special effects in this are so much like Mortal Kombat, like from the 90s.
Yeah.
Just awful. Like these bat skeleton things could easily have been in that movie as well.
Yeah, 100%. And then there's like electric CGI coming like to them, and whenever Blade and Frost are like fighting the swords, there's like CGI sparks coming from the swords.
Yeah.
I did like whenever Karen killed the blonde-haired girl. I thought that was hilarious. She like pulls like the mace, put it in her face, and then like her head just like gets bigger and explodes.
Yeah. Mace in the face.
Yeah.
She does that with no, there was two other vampires. I think Blade was fighting them. And they're both of their faces like expand and explode too. Was that the serum that he kicks into their face?
I didn't think he had that much serum with him.
No, because the serum is what he kills
Frost with.
What did he put in their face? Because he does it to two of them.
Yeah, I remember.
There's a male and a female, and both their faces just expand until they explode. It looks terrible, but it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think Blade fights his mom. Does he end up killing her?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, now Blade is like kind of like fucking like he's like amped up, like he's ready to go, and like he wants to kill Frost.
And he killed Quinn too. And got his sunglasses back.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Yeah. So let's talk about the fight with Frost. Like the whole movie, Frost didn't even seem like that powerful. And even when he got this like La Magra, he still didn't seem that powerful. No,
like Blade kills him fairly easily. Like they have a little fight with swords and shit, but like
like he cuts his arm off, and then like you said at the beginning, he cuts him in half, and then like he just fucking connects back again. And
so I guess like his strength is just like he's impossible to kill, maybe.
Yeah, basically.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and then like Blade is kind of he's not getting his ass kicked, but like he's not winning this fight like this. So then he like sees like the serums up top, and he ends up getting them down, and then like just throws them at Frost and injects him with it, and then Frost just like expands and just fucking blows up.
Yeah. There's a lot of expanding and blowing up in the last like half hour of this movie.
There is, yeah. So yeah, he kills Frost, and him and Karen are, I don't know what they are now.
They put on their sunscreen and walk away into the sunset.
Yeah, exactly. And then you think the movie is over, but it's not. It ends with us in Moscow, Russia, and there's a couple walking down some building. You see like the red sign, which like is like a vampire hangout.
Yeah.
And then like the guy vampire like grabs the girl, and then all of a sudden like Blade shows up. He starts speaking Russian, and it's like like why is this? This is the worst setup for a sequel I've ever seen.
He's very cultured, okay?
I guess so.
Bro, this was like Marvel's first movie in a long time. So like they haven't gotten their mastery down of the post-credit scenes like they have now. Right? They did this one, they learned from their mistakes, and now they have wicked setups for sequels and
that's true.
And stuff like that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Just blowing smoke out my ass. I don't know.
But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yep.
Was there anything that we missed that you want to mention or talk about?
I don't think so, man.
Alrighty. All right. Well, that's the way the blood splatters.
All right. I already know what your thoughts are on the movie, but
okay.
I want to hear your reviews anyways.
All right. So my story, I gave a 4 out of 10.
Okay.
I said a solid story that introduces Blade and the other characters well, but lacks to keep my attention during the filler scenes. The actress that played Karen made me feel little for her character. I didn't really like her as a character. I thought the pacing kind of sucks. Like, I watched the first hour and a half on Monday, and then watched like the last 30 minutes on Tuesday night, because like I always remember like the last scene for some reason, like I don't know, it's just kind of boring to me. Like the setup before the final fight, like I don't know.
That final fight could have been so much better.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I thought like it had funny, cheesy dialogue. Like the writing wasn't great, but like I thought it was funny. So 4 out of 10 for story, and quality I gave it 3 out of 10. I said this movie doesn't hold up as much as I remember, and it hurts my heart. We'll always love this movie though. The choreography is pretty good, and Wesley Snipes as Blade is perfect. I thought the score was great as well. So 4 out of 10 and a 3 out of 10.
All right. My story, I gave it a 5 out of 10.
Okay, pretty close to me then.
Yeah. I said it's a really cool concept of Blade being like the half vampire and having all their powers. It does lose points because it's a comic book adaptation, so it's not like the idea of it is original. I liked the vampire lore and history in this one, and felt that it strayed from the typical vampire stories that we were used to at that time. This movie helped revitalize the comic book movie genre, and from what I can remember, really helped Marvel get out of a hole. So it gets some bonus points for that. It's a super fun movie for action fans and horror fans alike. Quality, I gave it a 6 out of 10.
Okay.
And I started off, I said, I know this is likely higher than it should be, but I don't care. The fight scenes have amazing choreography. I love Snipes in these types of roles. Demolition Man was one of my favorite movies while growing up. The script is a little janky, but for the most part, the acting was passable. I thought Stephen Dorff did a good job as a piece of shit villain. And like you said, like Wesley Snipes as Blade was perfect casting at that time. The CGI was typical 90s crap, and it didn't hold up even back then, let alone now. The CGI. Yeah, that was probably my least part of the movie is what I said, but I worded that weird. And the soundtrack, this was a top 3 for me back in the day with the Fast and the Furious and Little Nicky. Like,
nice.
I fucking loved this soundtrack back then. It just had like well, Triple X was a really good soundtrack too. It just had like the EDM and like there was like new metal and I don't know. It's just a fun soundtrack to listen to.
Dude, from you saying that, I totally forgot that I got you the Blade vinyl.
Yeah, you did actually.
Yeah.
I can grab it.
Yeah,
Grab it. Yeah, right there.
Nice.
I can't remember what the actual vinyl looks like. Pretty sure it was a cool one. Oh no, I think it's just black. Yeah, black with like the blood splatter on the back of it. Yeah, and I mean, I like the soundtrack or the score too.
Yeah,
I think it's good. It just has like that upbeat, like it's like a good soundtrack and score for like a fight movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just good. I like the cover of it though, because it has the sprinkler system from the beginning of the movie.
Oh yeah.
It's cool. But yeah. So yeah, 5 out of 10 and a 6 out of 10 for my ratings.
All right. Very nice.
All right, you guys know our scores. Let's head on over to Rotten Tomatoes and see what they've scored it. The critics' consensus. Though some may find the plot a bit lacking, Blade's action is fierce, plentiful, and appropriately stylish for a comic book adaptation. So based off that, what do you think the critics scored it?
I know this movie is rated fairly high and like it kind of surprised me a little bit. So I'm going to say 78.
You hit the audience score.
Oh, okay.
Dead on. The critics scored it 57%.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
57% on 107 reviews and an average score of 5.9 out of 10. Like I said, the audience score was a 78% on 250,000 ratings and an average score of 3.9 out of 5 or a 7.8 out of 10.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Letterboxd has a 3.4 out of 5.
Mm-hmm.
I give it a 2.5. You gave it a 3.5.
Mm-hmm.
Here Be Monster, Anthony from Porcelain Peak gave it a 3.5. A Nightmare Pod gave it a 4.5.
Oh.
And Screamin' Cinema gave it a 3.5.
So you're a hater.
Yeah, I gave it a heart. Okay.
My original score, like whenever I watched it earlier on in the year, it was a 3, and then after this watch, I bumped it up to a 3.5.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Just because, like, I think, like I mentioned before, like I knew I went into it knowing what to expect with this watch, so I was able to just kind of have more fun with it, I guess. But yeah. All right, man, you ready for the scare section?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what did you give it for a scare rating?
So I gave it a 2 out of 10. It's not overly scary. The CGI definitely takes away a lot of the gore effects for me because, like, basically he'll like cut off an arm, but it'll just like CGI flame away. You just see like a bone. So
yeah.
Scariest scene. I said Pearl. Just this overweight vampire thing is just it's funny but also terrifying. And then what I survive, I said if I was a vampire I would try to convince Blade to let me join the team. And if he decide against that, then there's no way I'd be able to handle him.
You did.
Yeah.
All right. We're pretty much spot on with with those. I also gave it a 2 out of 10.
Okay.
I said some of the vampires were creepy and menacing, but overall it's more of an action movie than an actual horror movie. Scary scene, I said Pearl. I said
nice.
He's just a disgusting mess of a human being, or not a human being, but like a being, I guess. Would you survive? I said no, I am surviving this movie as myself. Blade would kill me in the blink of an eye, and I cannot fight off vampires. So I'm fucked, but I like your answer to that.
Thanks.
That's a nice spin on it.
Yeah. I feel like Blade 2 is more horror.
I can't remember.
Like, I haven't watched it forever, but I know it's like he has to team up with vampires because there's like the new like super vampire like in the sewers or whatever, killing everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I watched it like at the start of the year, because I originally wanted to watch all 3 of them, but I just never got around to the other 2. But maybe
if you have time.
More movies, and I got something wrong with me. It's more of a desire to watch them than anything. All right, it's that time. We told you at the beginning of this episode that it was a face-off episode, so that means we are about to go through Loomis's villain evaluation. However,
I met this 6-year-old child with this blank, pale, emotionless face and the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes. I spent 8 years trying to reach him, and then another 7 trying to keep him locked up, because I realized that what was living behind that boy's eyes was purely and simply evil.
Evaluation. However, it's more of an anti-hero evaluation than a villain. If you're a first-time listener, or if you forget, so in this section we take the 7 character traits from Dungeons and Dragons, so strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma, and we grade the character out of 30, and then we average out our scores, and then we do the same for the second part, which will be a different character, and then we just kind of see who would win.
It's 6, right?
It is 6. You're correct.
Okay, you have me worried there. I was like, did I
My
forget
bad.
one?
It is 6. I cannot count. But yeah, just kind of what we think would happen if these characters would fight.
Yes.
So, do you want to go first?
Sure, I will go first so you can do the math.
That's right.
So for strength, I gave a 25 out of 30.
Okay.
I said he's not a full immortal, but he's pretty damn close. Like, he's not a full vampire, so he doesn't have that super strength that vampires do.
Yeah.
He can still take hits. Yeah. Dexterity, I gave him a 24 out of 30.
Okay.
I said he's half vampire, so he's super quick and can pop up from anywhere. Like, he doesn't have like the speed that some like vampires do, but yeah. Constitution, I gave a 20 out of 30. I said as a vampire, he never tires out, but once he doesn't have his serum, he kind of slows right down. Wisdom, I gave an 18 out of 30. I said he has a ton of experience from fighting vampires. He knows how to read different languages. And he's been using weapons for a while. And intelligence, I gave a 15 out of 30. He doesn't really show he's very smart, but he knows how to handle the weapons that Whistler builds for him. And I don't know if it's Whistler that like made the serum for him, or if he kind of did it himself.
Yeah, they don't really explain that.
Yeah. And he knows a lot of history about like the glyphs and all that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Then charisma, I gave a 10 out of 30.
Okay.
He's kind of like charismatic in that like dry monotone way. Like, he drops some really funny lines and stuff like that. But like, he's always in the same tone. you can't see his eyes because like he has his sunglasses on, so you can't see like, you know, what he's showing emotionally.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
All right, cool.
What about you?
Whoa, Jesus. I don't know what the hell that was. For strength, I gave him a 27. I said he's obviously strong as fuck and kicks the shit out of hundreds of vampires in the movie, but he can also be hurt and requires his serum to heal himself.
Mm-hmm.
Dexterity, I gave him a 30.
Okay.
I said he's a martial arts master, and like the stuff that he can do, I don't know. I couldn't put it any lower because like he's at like the pinnacle of but I do agree, because you did mention that he doesn't have the speed that like normal vampires would have, like in the lore and stuff of what we're used to. But like when he's faced against the vampires that are in this movie,
yeah,
because I feel like they took away like a lot of those
mm-hmm.
those traits with them in this movie. So I don't know, I gave him a 30. Constitution and endurance, I also gave him a 30.
Okay.
I said he fights wave after wave of bloodsuckers and doesn't ever slow down. But it is true what you said. Like once that serum starts to wear out, that's when you can really see like a tiredness to him. So I am actually going to drop that down.
Okay.
Because I don't think it's going to be a perfect score. I'm going to give it. What did you give it? I don't want to give it the same as you.
20.
Okay, I'll give him a 27.
All right.
So that's going to change my score. 7 and a 8. Oh, yeah.
Mark's dying over here.
I'm getting a dry throat. Where am I? Intelligence. I gave him an 18. I said he is smart, but he relies a lot on Whistler and his knowledge to create a lot of his gadgets and serum. Wisdom, I gave him a 24. I said he has a good understanding of vampire lore and history and is able to use it to defeat them in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Charisma, I gave him a 12. I said he's not overly charismatic and he's more brooding than anything, but he does get the girl in the end, so he does have something going for him, and it's not just his abs.
True.
But yeah. All right. So I think my math's correct. So the average scores for strength is 26.5. The average score for dexterity is 27. Constitution is 28.5. Intelligence is 18. Wisdom is 21, and charisma is 11.
All right.
So pretty high scores.
Yeah.
Mr. Eric Draven is going to have a tough time, I think.
You know what I just realized too?
What?
They're both named Eric.
Oh, yeah. Blade's real name, eh?
Yeah.
That's true. I never even clued into that.
Me either until just now.
But yeah, so not next week, but the week after, we're going to be dropping the part 2 episode to this. Next week, we're going to be doing Jurassic World Dominion with our good friend Felicia Conner from Two Chicks and a Horror Flick. So if you want to see the conclusion to this face-off, be sure to check in at the end of the month.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all we got. So
that's it for Blade.
That's it for Blade. If you guys want to catch us on social media, you can find us at A Podcast on Elm Street on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. If you click the link in our bio on Instagram, you'll find links to our TeePublic account where we have our merch. There's also links to our Patreon account if you wish to support the podcast that way, as well as links to both of our individual Letterboxd accounts, our Discord server, and anywhere that you can listen to us.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fantastic as always. But,
all right.
Yeah, that's it for this week. We'll talk to you next week, guys.
See you later.